Alright, guys, here we go. I was thinking all day long about what podcast to do. We got a private podcast going on for the ship members, and this one is just a video on YouTube or TikTok or whatever. We'll put it on there. Yeah, I was still laughing, man. This morning I was getting, yesterday I was accused of being too relaxed. I mean, you guys are idiots, man. The left is basically a bunch of cocks, feminists, and buffoons. And I've said this so many times. It's pointless talking to them, and we'll get into that. And it's exactly why I can't talk to my family, why I can't, not that I can't. I mean, they don't want to because nobody wants to sit down and discuss facts and objective reality. It's all emotion-driven bullshit, which doesn't work in the real world. But, yeah, too relaxed. I think I did an Instagram short on that. So since I'm so relaxed and since a warrior, I was accused of calling myself alpha when, of course, the guy doing it will say, I was never talking about you, which is total bullshit because it can be proven otherwise. And I proved it. But, when you prove it, when you tell liberals, cocks, and feminists that the sky outside is blue, not green, and when it rains, it's whatever color, then they say, no, the sky outside, when it's bright and sunny, is green. How do you talk to people like that? That's just a very simple... I mean, they believe, that you're born in the wrong body. Certain people. You ask them why. They won't back their point up. They'll just yell at you. That's just the way it is. But okay, but why? I mean, everything has a why. Everything has a reason. You feel a certain way. Okay, well, you know better than God. You know better than nature. You know better than the universe. I mean, then you have them chopping their kids' balls off, educating them on how to give blowjobs at the age of 4 and all kinds of crap. That was an actual thing in Scotland. Liberals again. But yeah, the too relaxed thing. I mean, fuck. Why do I have to be... I mean, this guy's an idiot, complete idiot, this guy that said that, and all of his, his altars and all that, he was like, his altar was like, you're one intense person, and I know this stupid fucker has seen that video where I was literally yelling into the camera. I was literally like, because I was talking about, my workouts, and I was talking about, this idiot has been whining about me since then. And I was talking about all that. And, I used to do these, on the last channel that got banned, these long-ass live stream push-up workouts and all that, to help people, to show people. I mean, not that people that don't want to be helped will, people looking for the negative. Because with liberals, the thing is this, you say one thing about them, and, everything, I mean, they can't understand the fact that, Hitler had both good and bad in him, like we all have good and bad in us. I mean, we're all like that, nobody's perfect, you gotta take the good with the bad. And, so I did those long-ass workouts, and I used to talk to you during those workouts, because I talk to myself during workouts, so I figured I'd talk to you, And he was like, he talks our ear off, and, well, I mean, I can't help it if you got a little schoolgirl voice, boyo, I mean, and you gotta read off a fucking script, because you're gay. It's the same guy who complains about ADHD, Sciatia, and all kinds of other bullcrap, which neither exists. Sciatia and ADHD, put him in fucking Africa, where he has to lift buckets of water on his head, or India, whatever. Within a week, that ADHD and Sciatia will be a thing of the past. Then he complains about being impotent, when the reality is he's into men's feet. I mean, that's, and these people deny all objective reality, which can be proven very easily, and I've proved it so many times in the past. But what I really want to talk about today is I was watching And this is a very brief point. I was watching a Tate podcast, and I was watching Piers Morgan, and Piers Morgan is a joke. I don't know how. I mean, because he's an extremely liberal, left-leaning person, complete joke. Every time I watch Tate and Morgan, right down to the precise language, I've talked about how my family, when I talk to them, and they come and talk to me actually, because I don't. Every time I say something, even if it's one single comment, they'll either gaslight or they'll say, no, shut up, and not even in an aggressive, physical sort of manner. They'll just say that, and but they won't shut up, and they won't stop spreading lies, and whatever the other parties or whoever's involved, they are never told to shut up. Only I am. Right? And it was the same thing. Piers Morgan and Tate, Tate is trying to speak. Piers, and, when you speak, you have to be allowed to finish your train of thought. You can't just say, you have to be allowed to finish. You have to be allowed to talk. So Piers was continually, will you shut up? Will you shut up? I mean, why the fuck do you have Tate on your podcast or anybody if you just want them to shut up if they don't agree with your, same thing with Tucker Carlson and Piers Morgan. Piers Morgan is a fucking joke. He was attacking Tucker Carlson about, not being a patriot. Now, I know there's a lot of stuff about Carlson, Nick Fuentes and all that, and I don't really know. I don't really get into all this bullshit. I'm more a real world guy. In the real world, I sit around like this. I was going to do this podcast outside. I was going to do it this video outside, but then I figured, what the fuck, I don't give a shit. I'm more of a real world guy. Social media and all this shit is so gay, dog. I mean, people think they have X number of followers or somebody. No, you have no money. You're a fucking idiot that lives on your wife, and and that pays social media platforms to give yourself an artificial boost so more bots can notice you, which is great if you want to do that. But I'm more of a real world guy, and all these, Fuentes is a fantastic podcaster, by the way, and he's extremely intelligent, articulate, but. And I don't really watch any podcasts. This one, yeah, because it was Tate, so I watched it. But other than Tate, and Trump, yeah, I don't really, and even Trump, I don't really, even Tate, I don't really, if it's something that's there, I watch it. But otherwise, because I'm more of a real world guy, and that's the number one thing I like about guys like Tate, myself, there's no bullshit. His messaging has remained consistent. And, there's very few other people you can say that. Mine has. You could offer me $10 million. I'm still going to sit here like this and say what the fuck I like. I'm still going to say it's good women are finally being put back in their place. And all that, Taliban's back. Everything I've said in the past. I don't take one single thing back. Unlike people that have made death threats against me, and then I forced them to take it back via action. Russia versus Ukraine. But, of course, there are gays and cocks, and, But, yeah, it's hilarious right down to the language, And Piers ignores objective reality. Piers is like, you guys and your and he was talking to Tate. So you and your misogyny takes us back 150 years. And Tate was defending himself. You know what my comment to that shit was? I was like, 150 years ago, the world was a much better place. It wasn't as chaotic, and women were actually safe back then. Look at the crime rates now. And women are themselves responsible for this. They're feminists. Hey, what kind of a world do you have to live in if you're a liberal? Like, talking to liberals, cucks, and feminists is pointless, right? Because, how do you even debate logically with a person that preaches equality but doesn't want the same amount of responsibility, that ignores the fact, if you're a woman, that ultimately a man is paying your bills, or your kids' bills, or your, whatever it is. or for your cars or whatever it is, your scooters, cars, whatever, kids, scooters, cars, whatever she has, whoever it is. Ultimately, it's some guy somewhere that's paying for it. Uh, Generations ago, men fought, men died in wars. You don't see women. Women became slaves, yeah, sex objects. But so all this talk of misogyny and all, and it's been covered so many times before. And Tate was like, do we need to get into that again? Because I'm going to rip you a new one again. And well, he didn't use that language, but and he did. It was hilarious. Pierce is ignoring the genocide going on in the Middle East, which we all know is that, but nobody wants to say it. It's stuff like, and another one, that a lot of people are jumping up and down about, and I'll talk about this. Some Indian was beheaded by an illegal immigrant over some bullshit. Apparently, this illegal immigrant, he was Motel Patel. Motel Patel, hey, I've been called that. I never had a motel, but he was a Motel Patel, and this illegal immigrant was told by somebody, Motel Patel couldn't speak English, and he was told, and so he told a woman to tell, supposedly, this illegal immigrant, this Cuban, to not use a non-functional washing machine, and for some reason that set him off, and he ran after him with a machete and literally chopped his head off, beheaded him, That made the news, that made, but here's the bottom line, when Preston Trump talks about deporting every illegal immigrant, that you guys, the left, feminists, let him to the country. You let him into the country, then you complain about him doing all that crime, and then you attack Preston Trump and try to kill him, Trump, because he wants to deport them all back home. So in what world does this make any sense? I mean, this is why you can't talk to liberals. Garbage. But it's like, this be nice thing. And so what is the solution? What is the solution to all of this? All this, because you can't talk to these people. They're going to radicalize. I mean, they're all, you can't talk to these people. You can't, debate logically with them. So then my video yesterday was about, this is why I've been saying for years and years, first of all, everything is mostly black and white except sexuality and certain things like emotion. It's all about logic. It's either X or Y. There's no in between. In between gets, I've been saying these things for years, and I've been saying that war is imminent. And you're seeing this, now when you think war, most people think, large civil war, large scale, world war, this and that. But you're seeing it at a macro level. Have you just felt what's going on around you? Have you looked outside? I know even fucking liberals have. They just don't admit it. And everybody's at war with each other, and it's liberals, cocks, and feminists. I shouldn't call them fucks because they can't fuck. That, that have enabled all this. Now how do you solve the problem? You solve it by, how do you solve any problem? You get the two parties together, you get them to the table, you get them to talk, then you work out some sort of deal. That's just how it works. Life is a deal. And these people are not willing to negotiate from a position of equality, which is okay. So you want to negotiate from a position of strength, but then at least you have to be fair, okay? Let's assume, this feminist or this liberal, he's in some position of power, so there's certain things he can do which you can't. But you still have to be fair, because if you're, like the Russia versus Ukraine thing, at the end of the day, that's not a negotiation. Ukraine is going to have to capitulate. That's just how it is. If you really want to solve the problems in society, you got to sit down and talk. You got to sit down, and talk about issues rationally, logically, without emotion. But the problem with left, feminists, and cocks is that everything becomes a goddamn emotional issue, and that's not how it should be. So And you can't, and it's like, women have all the I mean, that's just an example. Illegal immigrants, that's another example. uh, you know like, you can't have your cake and eat it too, so it's pointless talking to these people uh, that, they're hopelessly, and they think by spreading this garbage off this, you know the sky is green long enough, people will believe it. Now, it is true, that's how Hitler did his propaganda thing. That's how the people came to believe in the Nazi ideology. Not so much through fear, but subconscious programming. In this house, there's got some devotional song playing that, because I'm a Christian, so everybody wants to attack me for being Christian. They think they can, convince Dr. Lecter subconsciously. It ain't gonna happen, but it's the same thing. Hitler did the same thing. And for you guys on the left, I mean, that devotional song, everybody that comes to the house, they're like, everybody, including maids, including visitors, they're like, does this shit ever stop? Like, even a temple closes. I mean, but no one, but yeah, it's lunacy. But so Hitler used that same propaganda, and my point is simple: that they're the same means of convincing people. And my point, and but with Dr. Lecter it doesn't work. But my point is simple: that then the left tells you that people that talk about Hitler are horrible people. You should block me. And we've covered the blocking thing in another video. That's just gay. That's people that can't debate. But here's the bottom line. You yourself are using the same techniques that Hitler did, and you're sitting there saying, so again, where does this make sense? I've been reading so much, man, written about me on Twitter and stuff. And first of all, let's just, if you can't talk to these people, the only solution is, it's very black and white. Either you give in to all their completely unreasonable demands and you become a slave to them, or you fight against them. I'm not saying enslave them, but, that you can look upon it that way. Because it's ultimately, that's what it is, But as an average guy, what can you do? Well, it's simple. What I keep promoting: get fit, get strong, be masculine, be sexy, charming, intelligent, be different. People try and remove individuality. The left is most responsible for this. Unless it comes to chopping your genitals off, and then, in that case, be as individual as you like. What's funny? If I up and told, walked around happily with a rainbow painted on my chest and saying, oh, I'm gay, I sucked dick last night, and blah, 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 nobody would tell me. They'd be like, oh, that's so... But if I tell more people that, hey, I fucked this girl last night. Oh, he's a nasty misogynist. That's the level of psyop you're living under. Men are expected to be gay and slaves. So with these people, what is the solution then? There is no solution other than what's going to happen: civil war, and a lot more blood is going to be spilled. Now, this was another point in the Tate podcast, and Piers Morgan was like, you're promoting violence when you say there'll be... Well, he said civil war. I say war because it's on a global thing. Nobody's promoting violence, but that's what's going to happen. That's what's happened throughout history. That's all I'm saying. That's all guys like Tate and stuff. That's all. It's basic fucking common sense. And this is the only period in history where, the only period in history that's been I spilled some coffee while being even more relaxed. Should I call a slave? Where's the slave to wipe it up? Oh, God. You guys are fucking, Man, you guys gotta get real. Like, some things I say, it's just all marketing. And we'll get into that, But what I said about the left wanting to enslave people, that's not marketing. That's reality. That you know. So let's. By the way, I'm gonna make my slave eat this. That's why I did it. And actually, it's not even dirty. I had to troll you a little, you know. So plus I was actually changing the angle, so you can see my Bruce Lee mirrors. You know, I got two mirrors at right angles, so I can practice my karate kicks and all that. Uh, and we'll talk about that. Yeah, he doesn't. I recently got a comment. He doesn't look like a warrior. Blah blah blah. I mean, look, fucktards. Bruce Lee. You're an idiot. You know, no one cares what you say anyway. And anyway, fucking Bruce Lee. You know, did he even? He was skinny as fuck, right? Did he give two? I mean, did he care? I don't think so. You know, you know. Yeah. So how do you? What is the solution? There is none. You know, war's gonna happen. Now, as the average person, what can you do? Get the basic masculine things, and I'm talking about men, because women, you know, there's nothing they can do. Their fate is, you know, get fit, get strong, sexy, handsome, charming, intelligent, all this. But a thing, you know, that people keep forgetting is you need to make a lot of money. You know, let me tell you all this. You see all this shit about war and all this shit, but if you have money, you know, the next 10 years of your life will be the best ever, you know. And then after that, who knows? You know, there could be nuclear, there could be, you know, Elon's robots could take over the world. Who knows, you know. Money, you know, we've spoken about this so often. It flows to guys that attract girls, that are good with girls, blah, 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 all these other things. But, and you know, if you're somebody that's just constantly castigated, disrespected, simply for having a different opinion, simply for, you know, believing traditional masculine concepts and all that, then the only way to do it, you know, you grab that respect, you snatch it. This is what I keep saying. Respect isn't earned. Power might be earned, but that power, then you command respect, you know. I mean, they may not like you as a person, but they have to respect you, you know, versus the kind of respect where, oh, he's 90 years old, you have to give him respect, you know, but he has no power, you know, that's different. That's not the kind of power I talk about. Power flows from the barrel of a gun. Ask Chairman Mao. I mean, you can argue with his methods, you can't argue with his fucking results, can you? But, that's the key thing I want to touch upon here. Money, okay? People are, you know, well, mostly my trolls. How dare he sell his books and products for that much? Hey, I mean, you know, he's like, the guy was like, I mean, I could look it up on the computer and all that, but I don't want to. But the guy was like, you know, he manipulates people, he does this, he does that, and so what? I mean, it's business. Business is manipulation. Marketing is manipulation. What the fuck do you think the WWE is? No, it's manipulation, you know. I mean, people, because they're so good at it, people think it's real. Like, people say about me, the best self-promoter ever, etc., etc. It's so good that I mean, and, you know, it's true. I mean, everything I say is true, which is the real reason people listen to me, people believe me, you know. You should be thankful for customers, you know, you make people feel like shit if they don't buy. Well, first of all, making people feel like shit is the only way to get them to change their shit lives. And even then, most people these days will deny objective reality, like, you know, if they're broke, if they're fat, if they're this, if they're that, then they'll say, yeah, I'm fat, but they'll do nothing. YouTube. And if they'll, if they have any other problems going on, they'll just be like, They'll attack you. They'll be like, no, my life is great, this and that. Then you dissect every part of their life, and you point out the parts, a lot of them, that are not great, and they won't, it'll be, I can jump up and go to the moon tomorrow. I don't need Elon's rockets. That's their answer. That's what they'll tell you. So it's pointless, and why would you not want to make money? It doesn't, and that's what you gotta have, man. You gotta have all the basic masculine qualities, and you gotta have a lot of fucking money, and you gotta have skills, a lot of skills, That is the only way, unless you want to be a slave or you want to die. I was never intending, I never had any intention of being a slave or dying or any of this shit, and, that's, then there was another rant by somebody about, toxic masculinity, and, it's these guys, when somebody breaks into your fucking house, who do you call? The toxic male that walks around without a shirt? Or do you call the cock that's got a big fat belly and, that kind of person? It's obvious, Now, you could say that, yeah, he's needed just for that, but it's not just for that. That's the very backbone of society, without protection, you have nothing, right? And, you still have a bunch of faggots that believe the law will support them, and you're seeing it all around you, man. People are getting beheaded, people are getting shot in the neck. And this is just in America. If I were to tell you, I don't know if you guys have been following what's going on in the tiny kingdom country of Nepal. They set, the prime minister's house on fire. They burnt somebody alive, quite literally burnt somebody alive. And it's happening all over the world, man. Apparently, because they banned social media, which, I don't know, banning social media, it's a double-edged sword. I don't know. I don't know. If you were to ask me, I don't know. Because free speech is extremely important, but then you have certain people that misuse it, but then you have people that'll misuse every law. So I don't think it should be banned, but that's a very nuanced argument. And the real issue there, again, was money. What do you think the real issue is in America right now? It's not fucking immigration. It's not fucking black, white. It's not fucking Jews. It's not fucking, any of that bullshit. Yeah, those all, but when that shoe starts to pinch, it's... the way I said it was rather annoying or rather brutal, I know. But when that shoe starts to pinch, then, all these other... not for people like, now, if you truly don't give two shits about money, but even somebody like me, if I literally really had no money or whatever, then at a certain point I'd be forced to care. Or, you needed to survive. You needed to do things you want. So, it's very important. So all these people complaining about, my products that deliver the best value on the planet, fitness-wise, life-wise, anything I promote, I'm the best at it, or I wouldn't do it, and you know that. My results show. And they whine about, he shows himself off to people, this and that. Why don't you show yourself off? Answer, because you're fat and out of shape, Then these guys are so addicted. There's one guy that identifies as a motherfucking peacock or a bird or something. And I won't, this dude has got literally pages and pages of Twitter posts. Every 3 days, he's like, if you say you can smoke and still remain fit, then you're wrong. Then you're a hypocrite. And he says all these nasty things about me, which is all fine. I don't care. Then he says, but he doesn't say that about drinking. You know why? Because fat-ass doctors say you can have 2 drinks a day and you'll be fine. But he says it about smoking. And when there's no evidence that smoking actually kills or anything, it's actually inactivity and eating too much that kills, Then the most ludicrous of things I got the other day from this jackass, this joker actually, he's too stupid to be a jackass even. A jackass looks smart compared to this motherfucker. Oh, I'm sorry. He can't get it up unless men are involved. He gets it up by looking at my This is what he said privately to somebody else. He's so sex mind. I don't even know. But so he says that what was it? We covered the smoking. We covered extreme workouts will kill you. But you won't ever hear him saying, sitting on your ass on the couch and growing a belly as big as Croesus. Well, he didn't have one. Buddha will kill you faster. It'll clog your arteries up faster than any amount of cigarettes will. Where's the proof that the Marlboro Man died from, there's no proof. It's all a bunch of garbage, Fat doctors want to, that my question is simple, and I said this in my Instagram video the other day. Why don't you ask these doctors to practice what they preach? Why don't you ask the left to practice what it preaches? They'll never do that. So they're the hypocrites. At least the right, people like me, you might not agree with objective reality, but we practice what we preach, and it shows. The making money thing, it's like you're supposed to cheer people on for their accomplishments, not tear them down. Well, nobody's tearing anyone down, but the fact of the matter is, people are soft these days. People are cocked these days, and they need a kick up the ass. Human nature is that way. If you don't kick people up the ass, they're never gonna fucking change. They're because society has convinced people, it's okay, men, that it's okay, and women too, fitness-wise or life-wise, that it's okay to be a complete loser. It's fine to be fat, it's fine to have a different body type and all this other garbage, which, is total garbage. So you have to do that. They're not going to change any other way. And, if they don't want to change, then they won't change even then, but some will, but you should drag people up. They don't want to be dragged up. They want validation. Oh, this exercise looks so good. Okay, what's it doing for you? Nothing. You're looking like a fucking retard jumping around like this, like a monkey, and you say that's animal kingdom workouts. No, it's not. You're too fat to do them anyway, and you know that. And these kind of comments get me called out as being so intense. And I know this dumbass has seen my, he's got pages and pages of Twitter posts dedicated to just the smoking thing, Then you ask liberals questions, and they'll be like, and you demand answers. Like, because here's the thing, with a woman and a man, there's this unwritten rule that the woman can ask you as many questions as she wants, and you have to answer as a man. But a man cannot ask one single one, and he has to answer everything while she gets to decide what she answers and what she doesn't, which is garbage. But that's how it works in today's society. And, liberals are the same way. They'll ask you all the fucking questions. You should have seen Tate and Piers Morgan, and he was literally, question after question. He wouldn't even give Tate a chance to reply. And Tate asked him one question, and he never replied, he never fucking replied to that one question. That's how they are, and it just reminded me of my own interactions with people, it's just all so cocked and feminized, you can't even talk to these people. So as a man, those are the only things you can do, and money is a very important part. Now, then the other thing I keep getting, women's rights and my slaves, and I keep saying women. He's this most terrible misogynistic. One comment. He has horrifying views about women. What view is horrifying that I have about women? That they shouldn't be allowed to, that what the Taliban is doing is right? Why is that horrifying? Could you explain? Okay, then these people will be like, oh, but they, they should be allowed out in society. Well, when you do that, you have open borders, you have crime out of control, you have, Kamala Harris being voted into power, or almost, thank God, because women don't think rationally. It's all emotionally. Oh, this poor black guy is starving, and, she'll give him food, and then, 10 days later, that black guy will stab her to death because she's white. Look at what happened to Ariana, So it's fine to have your opinion on things. But my point is this: you have to be able to ask these people why. But they won't answer why. Because they are well aware that their version of reality is not objective fact. Like the sun's fucking yellow, or it looks yellow, maybe it's red at the core, whatever, but it looks yellow, doesn't it? But these are people that will try and psyop you into thinking the sun is blue. How can you? So there's no way to talk to these people. There's no way to. So you can either, it's a very simple binary choice. You can either capitulate, you can either completely give in to them, or you can, fucking, keep fighting. The second alternative is much tougher. So most people just give in and become part of the left, or a liberal, or a cock. But literally, man, I mean, people have pages and pages of Facebook posts about me, and X posts that he promotes smoking, he does this, he does that, and like, I'm in better shape than you. I have exponentially more girls than you could ever have in your, I don't know, lifetimes. The vast majority of people that say these things, I have more money than you. I do what the fuck I like. I don't live under a woman's jackboot. I mean, you, on the other hand, are listening to your wife saying, oh, cook me dinner, or do the dishes, or do the laundry, or, whatever the hell it is. I'm not. Equality. Yeah, equality. We'll see how that works when a motherfucker breaks into your house and knows how to use a gun. And, oh yeah, but she has a gun. Does she even fucking know how to use it? Women don't, they take the most basic training, rifle training or whatever it is, and they think they know how to use weapons. It don't work that way. That gun, that rifle, can easily be taken away from you. But, you tell a liberal that, you show them cases, I mean, and, oh, that's never going to happen to me. How do you know that? Oh, well, who the hell do you think you are? It's... So it's pointless talking to these people, and I had to get all this off my chest. But yeah, making money is a good thing. Make more money is what I say. And, you're not ripping people off if you provide value, or, people have this, liberals, cocks, and feminists have this thing of, the high value people should give you everything for free. But why? I mean, why? What do I get out of it? I mean, you're getting plenty, or you wouldn't be asking, right? I mean, why do I smoke cigarettes? Because I want to, because it feels good, because I like the taste. We covered that in a video, right? I mean, that other guy was saying the same thing. He misses the taste, the lawyer. Okay? Man, he's actually called me to his office on Monday. I don't know if if I have time, if I'll go. But, why do you... Okay, one reason you care is because I'm an influencer and what I say carries a certain amount of gravity, so you care, and, But, and I've been around in the fitness biz for so long now that pretty much... other than that, why do you give two shits? I mean, obviously, it's possible, since I'm doing it. I've shown you that I'm not an exception to the rule. There's plenty of other guys that do it. Extreme workouts, I mean, they're the way to go. Otherwise, I mean, it's either this or that. We covered that before. So, these were some of the recent comments I got, and, I figured I'd cover it in a video. And you know what pisses me off the most? It's a lot of repetitive bullshit that I have to keep going over, and 2 days later, these motherfuckers have the brains of an oyster, non-existent. And 2 days later, they'll pretend to forget everything you said, and you know what they'll say? Oh, that influencer made another video about me, he's so triggered. And the reality of the matter is, I make a video every day. I mean, I search for topics to talk about every day because, There's a reason I do that. And, you guys are just providing me with all the cannon fodder I need to blast out my videos. The fact is, you care. And you know why? Ultimately, because I got the results. I got the girls. We can pretend what I say is misogynistic, doesn't sound nice, but we all know nice guys finish last, right? And that's really that, man. I mean, if you're whining about, making money, this, that, well, for especially the coming future, the coming decade, and this has always been true. If you had enough money, you were a king, whether now, the concept I promote is that you should be a king or an emperor even before you're a multimillionaire, or otherwise you'll never get there, which for me, that's been true. Most people I know, that's been true. You always got to be that guy, not just because if you're not that guy, then you suddenly get all this money. It just makes you more of a loser, is what it does. And, it's funny, one of the housemates was there, her cock employer. We've talked about it. We were laughing about a certain bird. And she was like, yeah, he's just like this guy, my last employer. He just sits down on a couch and he doesn't move and he doesn't do anything. And, big fat guy. And you know what? I mean, the way that woman spoke about her employer, now on the face of it, she shows him all the respect. Yes, sir, no, sir, this, blah, 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 blah. But every time, so he pays her a salary. She takes it. But she needs something for the house. She's like, I need this for the house. And she says it politely. Or, her children, whatever it is. And he gives her the money. And it's like 5 times her salary or whatever. And if he doesn't, because here's a very telling comment she made. He needs me. With me, there was never that. With me, it's like, you're going to kick me out tomorrow. You're going to do this to me, do that to me. And I did kick her out eventually because one day she got a little lippy, but with women, you can't allow that, Well, that situation occurred that I spoke about with the ex and all that. But at the day after, she got a little lippy, and, I was like, yeah, fuck this bitch, I'll find another. I got so many, and I have. There's 3 more, The reason I don't show them on camera, nobody, is because, there's no reason to. I mean, what am I going to do? I've posted pictures. What more, do you want me to, why should I? I mean, it's so annoying. I don't even talk to most girls, Why the fuck should I? Do you want me to be on camera with them? I mean, you see, sometimes I'll post pictures, mostly even not even that, but it's just, gay, retarded bullshit. And these guys keep whining about talking directly to us. He never talks to, but when you talk directly to them and you bring up objective facts, they're like, I don't know what you're talking about. So you tell them, that, look at your own Twitter profile, the X profile. You've got, I was discussing somebody else that does it. Well, who is that somebody else? Oh, why do I need to tell you? Well, you don't need to, but we're discussing it, so you should. Otherwise, what are we discussing things for? If you don't need to answer any fucking questions, but I need to answer everything on the planet. Oh, such fucking bozos, man. I mean, quite literally. The left are a bunch of buffoons. Feminists are a bunch of buffoons. Cocks are a bunch of morons that enable it all. God dang. Let's see, did I forget to cover anything else? Should we get the computer? Alright, let's get it, since we're on it. Fuck. Because I keep getting these fucking, comments. I think I covered all of it. We'll see, This computer is a piece of shit, by the way. The last one I had was a piece of doo-doo. The one I bought after that, they sent it without a motherfucking battery. So let's see. Let's open up X on this thing. I mean, I used to do my, videos and stuff on this. It was a lot more convenient to working on a computer. I'm old school, but now I do everything on the phone because it's just, I guess it's easier, or I don't know. I mean, I guess at least you can, like that last video I did on the laptop. I had to turn it up to max volume for you guys, for me to even, All right, here we go. Should we show this guy? This idiot who's been, he's gonna whine about it more, so, yeah. Let's see, because I just got notified that, by the way, this guy, he's watching this thing, and, I might have agreed to put my weaponry back in cold storage, but I haven't forgotten how to use it, and I haven't forgotten to bring him out when needs be. I'm not threatening you, I'm just telling you. Anyway, so you want to push it, keep pushing it, but there's going to be blowback. Like when you fill a cigarette lighter up too much, there's blowback, and it explodes. Like your ex did. I might just force him to get off of X again and lose his subscription again. Anyway, I'm a mean misogynist. And I'll do it too if I need to. But right now I'm just, what are all these fucking chats and messages? Here, the so-called misogynist with all these girls messaging him, huh? And, oh yeah, that's another thing. I keep asking liberals, if I'm such a terrible person around women, why do so many of them come? Obviously, I'm not a millionaire. I have money, but I'm by no means a millionaire. Why do they come? Answer me that. You're not going to be able to. Okay. If you do extreme workouts on a constant basis, it's going to bite you in the ass and may kill you sooner than later. No proof, some garbage. Nobody cares. You're an idiot. We covered that. If you're promoting fitness, but you smoke multiple packs a day, but you're contradicting yourself if you're a smoker, but you have promoted strength. That's not any better. What the fuck does that even mean? If you're a smoker, but I've promoted strength. I mean, what? Is fitness and strength not related? This guy's a fucking idiot, man. He's, big and fat and, moron. And so to him, strength and fitness are different. He's complete bozo. They couldn't lift a box of kittens. Hey, I can lift more than laborers, and you can ask. I mean, I've covered it, these laborers can't lift heavy couches, and I just lift. I mean, who cares what you look like? I mean, if you can do, and first of all, we've covered this. I mean, this would be sunken. You, my friend, have no idea what martial artists look like. You just know what fat fox coping look like. You have no idea what swimmers look like. Yeah, so let's look at the Twitter feed of some of these idiots. All right, then we covered, one thing about the fitness industry, gurus that treat others like trash. There are people that don't realize they're being manipulated and being a good customer instead of, what? I gotta tell my sources to be more precise. And this fucking shit doesn't load. It's as gay as this guy. Okay, are we? What? I ejaculated? Is posting something about, or maybe there was someone else. Yeah, okay. There are people that don't realize they're being manipulated. What? This guy, his writing is so terrible. I mean, his schoolgirl voice is one fucking thing, but his writing is horrible. It's absolutely horrible. It's like eye-watering rants like Alan Murray and myself. Jesus, Raoul, that was long, is what he said, but he didn't say it was stupid. But this guy, it's so stupid, like... Okay, so according to him, gurus, the bodyweight exercise guru, treats others like trash to make a buck. We've covered that, fuck. There are people that don't realize they're being manipulated and being a good customer instead of a human being. Okay, are customers not human beings? Are they aliens? Are they Martians? What the fuck is a customer if not a human being? Earth to Mars. Have you got any fucking gay? Anyway, oh, what is this? Oh, we got the bloody Wi-Fi still. Anyway, so okay, yeah. Manipulators and embezzlers are nothing more than con artists, charlatans, and dumb motherfuckers. Okay, so that means every successful marketer, according to this idiot, is a con artist, this and that. Anyone that makes money is a bad person. They would rather show off how good they look to people. Well, why not? If you look good, show it off. Have you ever told a woman that? Why don't you go tell the women that walk around the street wearing miniskirts not to show themselves off? We'll see how that goes. You'll get smacked in the nuts, is how it'll go, so you don't say it. You're a pussy. I mean, no goose and gander, huh? Instead of cheering on somebody how they help make a difference in their life, well, I can only help make people, change their lives if they want to. Your job is to, okay, this motherfucker is fat, out of shape, has no money, no customers, doesn't even have a business, and pretends he's a somebody when his whole life revolves around me, along with his pal Schofield and, others. Well, Schofield is finished now, but your job is to. Who the fuck are you to tell me what my job is? Like, are you giving me money? Yeah, if you're giving me a lot of money, then you can tell me what my job is, but you're not giving me any money, so fuck off. These people are so arrogant with no accomplishments. This is why you can't talk to them. They make sure they succeed and help bring opportunities to them that will teach them to crush their goals, not crush their spirit and question their humanity. I don't know whose humanity other than the left I questioned. It hit home. It's sick and full of bullshit fluff. Well, no, the left is what's sick, and we've covered that. Although this bird brain will forget what we covered 10 minutes ago. The people who are deceitful think they are helping others when in reality they convince them to fork over their hard-earned money. So should a pizza be free? I mean, if you promote a pizza as being the best in the world and you charge money for it, like the guy that's connected he did, and that was awesome, Italian pizza. I'll tell you, man. I mean, my girl and me were sitting one day. She brought two in a taxi. I was watching Raw. I was like, go get me, not me, us. And she got it in a taxi. By the time, and I was fat at the time, by the time I was 10 minutes into Shawn Michaels versus somebody, 1.5 of those pizza boxes was gone. She emerged from the bathroom. She's like, huh? And she got nothing to eat, I guess. I don't know. Or I think then we had a convenience store which it was an Afghani convenience store right next to our house. They had the most delicious chicken wings, man. I've never eaten chicken wings that delicious. So, I think we got chicken wings for her, and I think so. I don't know. I don't care. I was too drunk. I fell asleep. That was the night we had a choice between watching Training Day and Snow White. You know what she told me? Honey, we're going to have to watch Snow White first and it was some gay movie about dogs on a beach. Horrible. And because you're going to fall asleep after Training Day and we're not going to be able to watch Snow White. Guess what? I did fall asleep after Training Day. You think I'm going to sit around and watch it? I wasn't even near as misogynist then as I am now. Snow White. What do you think I am, a fucking faggot? Anyway, they may be, then he says I'm an excellent self-promoter, but they're nothing without costumers. Okay, I guess he means customers. And if you can't be thankful, why bother? I'm extremely thankful. I'm extremely grateful. I've covered all this in the past, but it doesn't mean pander. Thankful doesn't mean pandering, all right? Thankful doesn't mean not calling a spade and not calling liberals and buffles out for what they are. Okay? And this is just one of the guys. Next time I'll probably cover another. His whole page is about me. Okay, he's got some gay isometric workout written, which does no good. At times I write, okay, then he's got this long rant on, oh, I'm just writing random things, or, I'm not really talking shit about you. People take it literally. Okay, well, who is it then? Well, he won't tell you, we covered that. Uh, you know, uh, yeah, if you want to be a man, come and talk to me. Well, we've covered why we can't talk to these people denying objective. If you want to be a boy and rant to your flock, well, you have none, which is why it pisses you off. Uh, Own up to your own shit otherwise. What shit? I own up to everything. I'm a slave owner. Hey, how much more direct can I get? I mean, if I'm directed at you, I would put your name in the process. No. In the past, you've written several posts about, well, sometimes you've put my name, but other times you've like, I don't want to give him more publicity or whatever. And you thought, and this idiot thought I was asking him to put my name in, if he referenced me, because number one, we had an agreement, which he broke. And number two, which I knew he would break. Number two, because, it's objective. Who said it? Raul said it. Habib said it. Habib porn star. It's got nothing to do with, publicity or, you gotta be honest about who said what. You can't just, then there's this whole thing of alpha that we covered, warrior mentality bullshit. Oh, yeah. This is one I didn't cover yesterday. Granted that social media is not always perfect, but, I forced him off of it, and he's like, you continue to call it gay at a minimum of 5 times a day. He actually counts how many times, like this motherfucker counted that I used the word gay 23 times in an article. Quite literally, or in a post actually. He calls it articles, which is fine. They're so long, they might as well be articles. If you can't stand social media to such an extent, stop using it that simple. Hey, I never said I can't stand it. I said it's gay, and I've explained to you why, but you refuse to listen to objective reality, but I never said I don't want to use it. You're the hypocrite. You said you don't want to get on X. You got on X. You're the hypocrite. You said getting a blue tick is useless. I'm not going to get it, but you got it 2 times. You're the hypocrite. You didn't have a blue tick before. You had a blue tick after I got it. You're the hypocrite. Because you have been aping me and copying me and following me. And then that's just what it is. Now, if you can logically debate it and tell me no, then and answer why, I'll be glad to talk to you directly. But you're a fucking idiot that denies objective reality. Then let's see. Oh, then there was the Hitler thing, we covered that. It's important to understand that when you promote yourself for others, it's one thing to share something that works, but another to bitch, moan, and vent about others. You have guys, I don't really look at this idiot's profile. I mean, my tribe, my weapons and cold storage, tell me about it. So now they don't do anything to him. They used to, but because, I said they wouldn't. But others you have a dislike for, basically he's saying I'm bitching and moaning and calling it motivational, but I'm not bitching and moaning. I'm simply giving you facts. I'm spitting out facts. And this is coming from a guy who doesn't know the P of promotion. He couldn't promote his tiny little pee-pee, It's not even his tiny little pee-pee to save his life. So, at least learn promotion yourself before talking about it. Your results, man. You don't know how to promote yourself. You don't know anything about promotion, literally. The fitness industry is a multi-million-dollar behemoth, is it? I don't think it is anymore, but anyway, built on the backs of insecure individuals seeking validation and a quick fix. Little guy is seeking validation, so I guess he's self-projecting. It's a realm where greed and manipulation reign supreme, where the pursuit of profit, What? Overpriced programs. Yeah, that's what he's whining about. Who are you to decide, man? If a guy wants to sell it for, whatever price he wants, that's his choice, his right. Are you saying we should be communist? No more free market? I mean, nobody's forcing you to buy. Don't buy if you don't want to. It's that simple. And if you can argue with that, please let me know how. The cult of personality is alive and well. Well, personality is what drives the world, my friend. We all sell each other in every transaction. That's human nature. Then there are social media touting dubious products. This guy used to troll my products and talk bullshit about them without ever reading them. At least he stopped that. Credit where it's due. Behind the scenes, they're popping pills and starving themselves to maintain the perfect facade. Starving? Me? Why? Because I don't eat fucking 5 meals a day? Does a tiger starve itself? Does a tiger pop pills? I don't pop pills. I mean, what pill did I pop? Could you tell me? I don't even have any medicines. I smoke 2 packs of rest a day, but what pills? I mean, gay. They're more concerned with their bank account than actual fitness. Well, we've covered money. Alright, why do people choose to be such assholes? Well, bad guys are the ones that win. We've covered it. Financial incentives. The result is a toxic environment. You know what? That toxic environment gets results. Your feel-good Kamala Harris environment doesn't get results. Don't be fooled by the Instagram models and the get-rich-quick schemes. I never promoted anything on, maybe somebody else did, I don't know. I've lost X amount of, Eat More, Weigh Less, my book. I tell you how I literally lost 2 kgs of weight a day while drinking beer, while eating, no change in diet or whatever. Nobody can do pull-ups better than me, is what he's saying, is what I said. And yeah, I did say that because it's objective fact. And who can forget? I'm the very best. No one can outwork me. I think I said that. No one can outwork me. Well, it's true. It's not hyped up bullshit. It's true when you're seeing the results. But have a high risk of injury using extreme workouts that would put the majority in the hospital. Well, the majority are soft-cocked, fat, and out of shape. Get in shape. You're not going to go to the fucking hospital. The doctors serving you are fat and out of shape. The surgeons operating you are using AI to the point where, it used to be I had a lot of respect for surgeons. You're cutting people like Hannibal Lecter. Now I just have respect for Dr. Lecter because these surgeons are using AI tools. And these surgeons leave shit in people's bodies and, all kinds of stuff happens. So these are the kind of things, this is why it's pointless talking to the left, to feminists, to cocks. They're a bunch of buffoons, a bunch of retards, a bunch of morons, a bunch of idiots. And it's the same thing. Again, he's talking about the same gurus, influencers that prioritize fame and fortune. So, that's that. And I don't even want to read all this shit. I mean, it's just so gay, man. My head is a headache. I'm going to have to call some of my slaves to rub my head for me. But it's all gay bullshit, and my point is, we're about to end this broadcast, and as a man, live in objective reality. I hope this explains why I keep calling the left a whole bunch of buffoons, because that's exactly what they are. Feminists, cocks, and leftists are a bunch of buffoons. Since they can't debate logically with you, they want to kill you, or at best enslave you. Choose your poison, or go to the other side. The right is objective reality. Let me be very honest. I've covered before. I've covered that before. Why men don't protect women anymore, and this lawyer, he told me that he was like, these days, if a woman touches you, it's perfectly fine. She's exploring her sexuality. But if a man so much as even, and then I told him, the situation with me being accused of sleeping with, flirting with, being gay, and this and that, and if a man does it. But he made this very telling comment. The Supreme Court in many countries has made this judgment now that, all that feminist garbage, it's slowly being phased out. And we got Trump to thank for it. Uh, but it's just pointless. As a man, the best thing you can do is make a lot of money, have a lot of girls, brag about it. Never, because the minute you stop bragging about these things, the other side doesn't stop to brag, right? You should hear women, feminists, liberals talk about people like me. They can never miss an opportunity to tell other people how horrible I am, what a misogynist I am, what a nasty person I am. He doesn't take care of his family, blah, blah, blah. But they will never point out the objective fact that that fucking family never took care of me either, So, and I let it continue for many years. So you should hear them brag about it. And if they can brag, you can brag. It's that simple. You must shout louder. Marketing wise, if you don't brag, nobody will hear you. You can be a nice guy and be fat, nobody will hear you. You'll get fucked up the ass. Anyway, I hope we covered all the points. Next time, we'll look at another one of these ex profiles, and she's blocked me, but I think you can still see the stupid bitches tweets and all that. But we'll look at another one of these ex profiles talking about hubby porn star. For now, see y'all later. Gator. Oh, Gator! Alligator Alcatraz. I am so sad, man. President Trump was, there's a Supreme Court order that Trump has to close Alligator Alcatraz. Remember the alligators walking in, literally eating the illegal immigrants? Hey, they shouldn't be there in the first place. And first of all, you liberals are so stupid that alligators don't eat people. They run away from people. It's salty, saltwater crocodiles. If I had my say, I would take those people, I would put them on a boat. I would overturn that boat in the middle of the Adelaide River in Australia, which is teeming with saltwater frogs. You know why? Because if you don't do it, they will come and kill you. Ariana, Charlie Kirk, So it's kind of sad that, even Alligator Alcatraz is, there's some... But Trump doesn't give a shit now. He's in power. He's going to get something done. But, Anyway, see y'all later.